listening to the Daily Yogi podcast. Every weekday, I'll share timeless yogi wisdom in bite-sized relatable lessons you can apply immediately to help you expand your perspective on life. Every Sunday morning of my childhood, I found myself kneeling in the wooden pews of our local Catholic church, surrounded by the familiar scent of incense and the soft murmur of prayers. My parents, devout Catholics, made sure we never missed Mass. Week after week, we would recite the Confiteor, a prayer of confession that includes the words, "Through my fault, through my fault, through my most grievous fault." As a child, I would dutifully beat my chest 3 times while speaking these words, just as everyone else did. But something about this ritual always troubled me. I intuitively felt it was ridiculous. Imagine if, as a parent, you made your 5-year-old child kneel before you each week, strike their chest, and declare their faults. We would recognize this as psychologically damaging, perhaps even abusive. Yet somehow, when wrapped in religious ceremony, people accepted this same ritual as spiritual necessity. We would never force our own children to perform such rituals of shame and self-blame. So why would God, who is supposedly the embodiment of perfect love and compassion, demand this of us? The truth is, the divine force, whether we call it God, the one life, spirit, or the absolute, never demanded such performances of guilt. These rituals of self-blame are human inventions created by religious institutions. Think about it. Why were we constantly declaring ourselves at fault? What terrible sin had we committed that required such persistent admission of guilt? As I grew older, these questions only intensified, leading me to examine the deeper implications of such teachings. I began to see how these rituals of guilt serve the church's interests. After all, how better to ensure people keep returning week after week than by making them feel perpetually sinful and in need of absolution? Create the disease, then position yourself as the only cure. Fear and guilt became tools for maintaining membership, wrapped in the guise of spiritual necessity. According to the yogis, you don't need to carry the burden of inherent fault or unworthiness. The absolute, or whatever higher power you might believe in, doesn't demand your constant self-flagellation. On the contrary, it embraces you exactly as you are, a perfectly imperfect being on your own unique journey. You, me, everyone is an essential cog in the machinery of existence. The world would be incomplete without your specific combination of strengths, weaknesses, experiences, and perspectives. You don't need to earn your place here. You already have it. You don't need to be forgiven for being human. Your humanity is your gift. For me, this realization was transformative. Where now I felt the weight of religious guilt, I now feel the lightness of self-acceptance. It's a message I wish I could have shared earlier with that confused child in the church pew. You're not broken. You don't need fixing. You're not a sinner. You are an integral part of life's grand puzzle. And you are, and always have been, enough. Thank you for listening. If you found value in today's episode, rate the show or share with a friend. And remember, take this reflection into the silence, and I'll see you next time.